When Roger Federer steps onto a court or accepts a trophy, the green and gold crown logo is almost always part of the frame. It is a presence that spans nearly every major sporting arena and red carpet event in the world. But in 1905, the very concept of a wristwatch was a joke to most men. They were seen as fragile, inaccurate novelties, worn almost exclusively by women as jewelry. If you needed a robust, reliable timekeeper, you carried a heavy pocket watch. That was the prevailing attitude when 24-year-old Hans Wilsdorf and his brother-in-law, Alfred Davis, founded Wilsdorf and Davis in the bustling, horse-drawn streets of London. Wilsdorf bet that he could build a wristwatch elegant enough for formal wear, yet accurate and durable enough for a man's daily use. To give this unproven concept a strong, easily pronounceable identity across any language, he coined a brand new name in 1908, Rolex. A catchy name wasn't going to overcome the public's deep skepticism. To make the wristwatch a serious tool, Wilsdorf had to systematically solve its three greatest flaws. First, chronic inaccuracy, vulnerability to the elements, and constant manual winding. He tackled inaccuracy first. Wilsdorf formed a strategic partnership with the Swiss supplier Egler, pushing them to manufacture miniaturized movements that could maintain high precision while fitting on a wrist. The proof of this engineering arrived in 1910, when a Rolex became the first wristwatch in the world to earn an official Swiss chronometer certificate. 4 years later, they went further. A Rolex earned a Class A precision certificate from Britain's Kew Observatory, a standard previously reserved for the large, highly calibrated marine chronometers used in naval navigation. But precision gears mean nothing if they instantly rest. The second hurdle was physical. Moisture and dirt easily bypassed the seams of early watch cases, destroying the internal components. This schematic shows Wilsdorf's 1926 solution, the Oyster case, the world's first truly waterproof housing. Looking at the cross-section, patents CH120851 and CH120848 functioned using a screw-down crown and caseback that clamped together, creating a hermetic seal that locked to movement safely inside. Rolex had successfully engineered a miniature fortress. But sitting on a patent wasn't enough. Shifting cultural perception required a highly public demonstration. That test came in 1927. A young British typist named Mercedes Gleitz swam across the English Channel, wearing a Rolex Oyster around her neck. After hours in the frigid, turbulent water, the watch emerged perfectly intact, keeping exact time. The feat proved the watch's reliability to the international press. Even with a waterproof seal, the wristwatch had one final flaw. Daily manual winding was tedious, and repeatedly unscrewing the crown slowly wore down the watertight threading. In 1931, Rolex patented the perpetual rotor. As this animation shows, a half-moon-shaped weight swings 360 degrees with the kinetic movement of the wearer's arm, continuously winding the mainspring inside. By securing these three pillars, first, certified accuracy, absolute waterproof seal, and kinetic self-winding, Rolex laid the foundation for specialized tool watches like the 1945 Datejust and the 1953 Submariner. Over just a few decades, Wilsdorf's engineering took an object once viewed as a fragile novelty and turned it into an indestructible survival tool. By 1960, Hans Wilsdorf had built a massive empire. But instead of taking the company public or selling it, he restructured the business to ensure it could never be bought. He transferred his entire ownership stake in Rolex to the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a private charitable trust. This flowchart illustrates the result of that decision. Unlike a typical public conglomerate that sends capital outward to shareholders, the Rolex model operates as a closed loop. They have total financial independence, shielded from the pressures of quarterly earnings. This independence allows Rolex to fund massive technical shifts, like the 1985 decision to swap the industry-standard steel for 904L Oyster steel, a harder, more corrosion-resistant alloy that is significantly more difficult to machine. It also funds long-term philanthropic initiatives and cultural partnerships. This strategy has permanently embedded the brand into the fabric of elite sports, maintaining a constant presence at major events like Wimbledon. Their cultural presence reaches deeply into the arts and sciences, which includes serving as a long-term sponsor for the Academy Awards. The crown logo is now recognized in every corner of the globe. It stands as the physical record of Hans Wilsdorf's efforts to turn a fragile 19th-century novelty into a permanent standard of timekeeping.